Well, hello friends. Long time no see. It seems like it's been a month since I've made a video. I know it's only been maybe 2 weeks, but it's been a long time coming for this video. I'm so excited to share with you the transformation in my house. It is so beautiful. At least I think it's beautiful. My contractor made my dream come true, and I'm so excited to share my home with you. I'm going to give you just a quick preview, a little teaser of the house. Then we're going to go back in time, and I'm going to share with you kind of what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks of moving in and getting things ready. I really don't know how many clips I have and how long this video is going to wind up being at the end, because I just was filming and I don't know. But then when I get done with that, we'll come back to the present, and I will go back through the renovations, and I will give you a close-up look at everything and show you what we've done and how we've changed things and how we're using the way our house looks now. So without further ado, welcome to my home. All right, guys, we're kind of taking a step backwards in time from when I introduced this video. And this is really the first I've filmed since the painters came. But I wanted to just give kind of a preview look of what it's looking like a day before we get to start moving back in. Tomorrow is Saturday, June 28th, I think. And we will be moving back in next week, the week of the 4th of July. We were hoping that we can get started this weekend. Things are not going quite as planned in the bathroom. And so they are going to have to come back tomorrow and finish up the bathroom and clean up. They've started the cleaning process. You can see they took the plastic down, and they're going to come back and take all this paper off the floor and sweep and things like that. But this is just a look at the kitchen. And how beautiful it is, even amongst the dirt. It is so beautiful. It's exactly what I was envisioning. When I was envisioning this, this is exactly what I was envisioning. And I absolutely love it. Now, of course, you will have already seen it, at least partially decorated. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that the video you're watching right now is when it's pretty much completely done and redecorated. But at this point, they're finishing up. They did all the trim everywhere, and I'll show you the bathroom and what still needs to happen in there. Unfortunately, the painter is not able to come back until Thursday, July 3rd. So we're going to still try to move in. Our contractor said we could still move in, but if we see any areas where the painters need to touch up, to just leave those spaces free. And so that will be something like right here. The painter told us that when they're doing all the installations and stuff, the things definitely get scuffed up, the paint gets scuffed up, and so that's why they get called back in. And so definitely not going to be putting anything on these shelves until after Thursday. Probably 4th of July weekend is when I will be really hitting hard the unpacking and organizing and decorating. But I am just in love with it. I am just in love with it. I'm in love with this blue color. I'm in love with my chandelier. As you can, it's just gorgeous. Let me turn the light back off so you can see it up close. The design on it is just beautiful. And the blue, the reason I decided to go with blue is because blue is a very calming color. I had said in a previous video that the choice of the yellow that was here before was because it was right after my mother died and I was in a deep depression and I needed to have cheerful things, and yellow is a very cheerful color. Well, now I am in a season of my life where I'm experiencing a lot of anxiety and stress. Even prior to the tree falling on our house, there's things going on that are beyond my control that are causing me a lot of stress. And boy, the paint looks purple in this at this angle. And I just wanted to go with a blue that was calming and kind of neutral. I looked and looked it up, and blue is a neutral color, and it'll go really, really well with all of my Pioneer Woman stuff. So I am in love with it. It looks great with my gray cabinets. Those are going to stay the same. We are going to touch them up because over time of use and with Percy jumping up on them, they've gotten scratched. But we are definitely going to be touching those up. This is a dream come true, this beam. Now you're seeing this prior to the painters coming. They're going to put a clear coat on that, which I think will make the color more rich, and it will make it so that it's easier to keep clean. But when they needed to replace that cap, that roof cap, I asked them just out of the blue if he could make it look like a beam, and he has just gone above and beyond. Above and beyond. That is cedar wood. The guy who built it, his name's Marco, and he's our contractor's framer. He framed all of the new joists that broke in the roof. He framed all of those at the very beginning. He was here and he came back and he framed this beam, this faux beam, and he did most of the trim. And Marco's the one that installed the shelves and made my vision come to life. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for Marco. I told Jeff to tell Marco he did a fantastic job, and I'm overjoyed with his work. It's just amazing, just amazing. Now the bathroom, the problem we're having in here is we found out that, we just discovered it today actually, that there's a hole on the inside of this door that the tree broke the door. So they got to get a new door. And then this is the vanity that we chose, and unfortunately at Menards this vanity did not come with a sink top, and it did not give us any recommendations for a sink top. So Scott did the best he could to find a sink top that would fit this vanity, and it's just a tiny fraction of a bit too big. I told our contractor if he could make it work, to make it work, because I don't want to delay any longer getting our house put back together. So he said he can. You can't tell that it's just a fraction too big from looking at it when it's sitting on there. You can just kind of tell if you stick your hand underneath the rim of it. You can tell that it's just a tiny bit too big, but I don't care. I don't care about that. In here there's quite a bit of touch-up painting that needs to be done in the bathroom. You can see up there where the trim didn't quite paint up close enough to the ceiling. That light needs to be washed. It's filthy. This is our new light in here, which is gorgeous. And they put this trim in the corners, which is beautiful. I love it. And yeah, the flooring, it's filthy. You can't really tell how beautiful this flooring is, but it is gorgeous. And I told Scott that eventually I want this flooring all throughout the rest of my house, or my living room area, because I love it so much. It's beautiful. Olivia's door got damaged somewhat from the tree too, all these scratches. So I believe that Jeff, our contractor, is going to get a new door for her room as well. Currently, they got her light back up, but it's filthy as well. It needs to be washed, and she needs some brighter light bulbs in there because it's quite dingy in here, and you cannot tell the color. But it's a pretty green. It's like a neutral green, tan. Certain lights it looks green, and certain lights it looks tan. Really pretty color. But this is the sink top that goes on that vanity. And of course, here's the toilet that needs to be put back in there. Definitely needs some more painting in here, like a second coat of paint in this room. So we are definitely at the home stretch, and I cannot hardly wait to get back in my house and get my house back in order. And you can see this is the state of the living room. Got everything still covered. Refrigerator. We were hoping that tomorrow evening we can move the fridge and the table back into the dining room and the kitchen, get the stove put back in place, and start living here again. All right, so this is the pre-update before we actually officially start moving in. And I'm sure the next clip will just be clips of our process of getting moved back into our home. Just can't hardly wait. Cannot hardly wait. All right, you guys, it is Saturday, the 9th, I don't know. I'll put the date on the screen. And we are starting the process of moving back in. Dog are back in. Refrigerator's back in its spot. The guys cleaned, but they didn't clean very good. Let me tell you that. The construction guys, yeah, everything was really dirty still. Very, very dirty. Got those back where they belong. You can I don't know if you can tell on camera how dirty the floor is, and I've mopped and mopped and mopped. I'm probably gonna have to mop 20 times before it gets shiny again. The stove is back in place, but not hooked up. I don't know what else. We got a lot of the furniture out of the living room. Our goal is to get everything off the couches and get them back in their proper places. Scott and Travis are out getting the top to my Hoosier cabinet. Got these shelves back in the entryway, and I want to get these organized tonight, because a lot of this stuff is in my bedroom that needs to come out here. So that is the update for now. We got started about 3 o'clock. We had to run to Menards to get a few things, and they finished up while we were gone. And so our goal was to get back in the house tonight so that we can sleep in here tonight. So that's what we're trying to do. And I just noticed my camera is very dirty, so hopefully the lens isn't as dirty as the viewfinder is. Well, it is 10 o'clock or almost, and I stopped working about 45 minutes ago, and I just went and got my shower. So this is our first official night back in our house after 5 weeks in the camper, and our house is back to normal. Our house is back to normal. Almost 4 months. It was almost, well, actually it's been as of today, it'll be exactly 3 months. I think maybe tomorrow. Is tomorrow the 30th? Because it was March 30th. But we are back to normal. We're still not unpacked, obviously. The painters still have to come on Thursday. This is Saturday. But we got a lot moved back in. Hoosier cabinet, got the table, got the plant stand, got the entryway out. You can't really see it, those out there sleeping. Plants, the entryway shelving is back. Refrigerator is back. And the most important thing is the doggies are back. And they are so happy to be home. Oh my goodness, they are so happy to be home. And so am I. guys, it is Monday, June 30th, and I just want to do a real quick update about what we got done today. I'm in Olivia's room and it's very echoey. Scott installed her new ceiling fan, and I'll have to have her show you how it works sometime, but it's like 10:30 at night and she's not up here. But she had bought this desk off of Amazon, so she got it put together, and she decided to just go ahead and touch up the paint in her room so that she can start moving in tomorrow. She didn't want to wait. She didn't want to wait clear till Friday, especially since she knows how to paint. She's like, I know how to paint, I can do it myself. And so she touched up the paint in here and swept the floor and cleaned it, and so it's looking really good. Scott fixed her closet. It still had the old carpet in it from when we first bought the house, so he ripped the carpet out and put some linoleum down. This is the same linoleum that's in our bathroom. It was just a remnant we had. And then her shelf had, it was almost 30 years old, and it was the original to the house. So we bought her a new shelf, and he got that installed so that she can start bringing her stuff up tomorrow. She is so excited to be upstairs and have Artie back up here and have her room all put the way she wants it. She's so excited. What else did we get done today? Originally we were going to have the painter paint the inside of this closet, but we decided no, we're not going to do that. So today I scrubbed it real good, cleaned it, scrubbed the floor. We did have to buy new shelves for it because the shelves I had in here before got completely ruined, especially the top one. So Scott put the shelves in it for me, and I've started filling it back up. We just figured it's stupid to have to wait clear till Thursday for them to paint the inside of a closet that no one is ever going to see except for us. So, and then Olivia, her other job that she did today was she touched up the paint. We went out and bought some paint that matched, and she touched up the paint on the front of this door that was all scuffed up. And she sanded down all the spots, the rough spots where Percy had jumped and scratched my cabinets. She sanded them all down and repainted the doors of my cabinets. And they look so good. They look so good. I'm so glad she did that. I should have taken a before picture of how horrible these things were. But she did such an excellent job. She's got them propped open until tomorrow because I wanted to give them plenty of time to dry so they don't stick, because she painted this part too. And she's so smart. She's put chip clips on the shelves, and so the door hits the chip clip and doesn't go all the way shut. So she did that. She got that done. I started putting a couple things on the shelves up here. I'm gonna have to take them down because there's a lot of touch-up painting that needs to happen on this wall. But I just couldn't resist putting just a couple of things up there. I don't know if that's where they'll wind up. But I've got those up there. And then, what else did we do today? Olivia put this plant stand together for me. And I brought some more stuff in from the camper. I brought my plants in from the camper. They were out there. And then Scott fixed the chandelier so that it's actually over our dining room table now. He bought a swag kit and put the hook there, and so now we have like a swag chandelier, and I'm so happy because it looks so good over my table. And then the other thing I got done today was I just did a little bit of decorating in here and straightening and cleaning. I got this put up, put where I want it. This needs to still be completely cleaned and redone. It's still filthy, and I noticed that I still have Easter decorations in there because it was right after Easter when all this, or was it, when was Easter? I can't remember. It was after Easter, I think. March 30th. I don't remember if that was before Easter or after Easter this year. So I got that done, and then over here I totally redid my hutch, my yellow hutch. Scott hung that painting for me. That's the one that I got at Goodwill not too long ago for $4. And then if you remember, I used to have all of my dachshunds that have passed away. I had their memorial pictures and their ashes and all of that up there, and I decided that those are some things that are so precious to me that if I lost them, if we, like, heaven forbid, had another tree fall on the house or had more damage done to the house through a tornado or whatever, those I would be devastated if I lost their ashes. So I'm going to set up a nice pretty display of their memorial stuff downstairs in the basement in my office, so that I can still see them every day when I'm downstairs, but they'll be in the basement. So that's what I decided to do, and then that gave me more room to kind of spread my stuff out because it was looking very cluttered. So I put the owl up here, and all my little Occupy Japan little figurines are up here, and then I put my scale, my ice cream scale. No, not an ice cream scale. I have an ice cream scale, but it's not this one. This little junior scale that I had. Put that here, and then I put that copper rose that Travis made for me at school right here. And then these little piggies I got thrifting, and they were wrapped up in another basket that I brought upstairs, and so I just stuck them there. That's not where they're going to stay, but I just stuck them there for now. At least I don't think they're going to stay there. But anyway, that is what we got done today. It's really quite providential how it all worked out. And I really mean that. I really do believe that God knew exactly, I know God knew exactly the timing of everything, and his timing is always perfect. And so as much as I was chomping at the bit to get out of that camper sooner, it worked out so good for us to be moving back into the house this week when Scott is off work. He's off work all week. It's also quite providential and that the painters aren't coming until Thursday to finish things up, because we're able to do all these little things that need to be done. But if they had come like today to paint, we'd be like tomorrow just feeling like a rush to get things moved back into the house. There'd be a bigger mess all over the place. And so we're able to just kind of take it a little bit slower and do some of these things and think things through. So God's timing is always perfect. And I just keep needing to remind myself of that God's timing is always perfect. My plans for tomorrow, I'm going to go out to the storage container that we have. Scott and I are going to go out there, and we're going to start bringing some things in, things that I can put in my Hoosier cabinet that won't be in the way, and some things that need to go in the furnace closet, stuff like that. And I want to do some spray painting. One of the shelves in the bathroom needs to be painted, so we're gonna do that. And I don't know what else, but it seems like every day is full to the brim of things to do. So yeah, so tomorrow's only Tuesday. But anyway, I don't know if I'll update you every single day because otherwise this video will be super, super long. But I did feel like I needed to update you today of what we got accomplished. And there's not a whole lot more I can do in the kitchen until the painting is done in there, because it's mainly the counters and the shelves I need to get organized, and I can't really do that right now. But I'll have plenty of time this weekend and next week to do that. I'm not sure when you will be seeing this video. My goal is that you will be seeing it on Friday, the 11th maybe of July, because also next week we start Bible school. Our church has Bible school, so I will be at Bible school every night, so I probably won't have a chance to edit any video. So I'm not sure. This might not be the 11th, but it might be that Wednesday after. We'll see. You'll know. You'll be watching it. I'm just thinking this stuff through in my head as I'm talking to you. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here now and tell you good night. And I'll see you in the next clip, whenever that happens to be. Well, hi guys. It is Wednesday, July 2nd. And this is just kind of my update for the progress that's going on. We still have boxes everywhere. We still have a lot of boxes out in the storage shed because the painters are coming tomorrow. We are putting up stuff that we know that the painters are not going to be having to mess with, which these two walls, I got these done yesterday. So they're not exactly how I want them yet. I just kind of got the stuff out of the boxes and stuck them on the shelves. These sewing box shelves, that is. Over here, this is exactly how I wanted that shelf to turn out, and I absolutely love it. There's some tweaking that's going to happen on these sconces and the picture, but like I said, I just want to get it up off the floor and out of boxes. So that's that. And I also got this done yesterday, and I absolutely love how that turned out with all my people there. Just love it. Today's agenda, I have this wall I want to get done. I just got done wiping this down, got those pictures up. I'm working on cleaning the shelf that goes there. Now I have no clue where my little miniature pictures are. But I'm going to have to start going through boxes for that. And then I can put stuff on this shelf. Again, all in boxes, all filthy dirty. I put that picture up there. I love it up there. I love that picture, and I didn't want to not use it. And it fits perfectly on this brick wall. So, got that up there. This wall, I have lots of plans for this wall, but I can't do anything to it until after the painters come. I don't think there's much they have to do on this wall, but they do have some touch up around the edge, around the trim that needs to happen. And I see something down there, dirt or something down there that maybe they can touch up. Oh yeah, over here, got goofed up. So yeah, that's my big job for today, is to get this area decorated. I figured I might as well start decorating because it's all got to be done, and I can't really unpack anything else in my kitchen until the touch-ups are done in here. This is the room that needs quite a bit of touch-up. So I'm just going to try to get a lot of my decorating done. Then tomorrow the painters are coming, and then Friday I'm going to work in this kitchen all day on Friday. So that's the agenda, that's the update. Sorry I'm not able to show you like my decorating. I just can't set up tripods and all of that. It's just too much. It would be one thing if I was like changing seasons or whatever, but I'm not, and everything that I have to decorate with is filthy dirty, especially the stuff that was on top of the cabinet and on this wall and everything here, because that's right where the ceiling fell in and insulation went everywhere. So it's just too much for me to try to like clean and film and all of that. And like I said, I'm just getting stuff out of boxes and putting them on shelves. Things are probably going to change before, like when you saw the grand reveal at the beginning of this video, that's not how it started, trust me. So anyway, I'm going to get off of here with this little update, and I'm going to get busy, and I'll pick you back up in a day or two, probably after the painters come. Olivia got moved into her room last night. She's super excited about that, and it's coming along. It's looking really cute in there. She doesn't have any pictures or anything on the walls yet, but she's got her furniture in there and her bird, and oh my goodness, Artie was so happy to be back in his room. So happy. I mean, he was literally smiling, and I saw it. Like, Olivia's like, people think birds don't smile, but they do, and he was. He literally was smiling. He was so happy. Singing, and oh, it was just wonderful. Heartwarming to know he's happy again. So anyway, gotta get to work. So let's start here in the entryway. I went very, very minimal on the decor out here. I just decided it's a tiny, tiny space, and the basket wall I had there didn't look nice, and nobody could ever see it, and people just ran into things trying to get through that narrow opening, especially when Bo is in the house. So I just eliminated all of the decor except for the things that are necessary, like my apron holder and my Walmart bag holder. And then these wreaths were on the cabinets in the kitchen that no longer exist. So I put them out here, and I really like them out here. And now entering the dining room, I think the star of the show is my chandelier. I have been wanting a chandelier pretty much my whole adult life, and Scott always wanted ceiling fans. So this time I asked him, please, can I have my chandelier? And he agreed to it. So this is my chandelier. The camera does not do it justice, does not pick up the colors very well, but I absolutely love it, and I love the design of the metal, the leaves, and the pattern in the glass is floral, and I just absolutely love it. Over here, you will notice that the corner hutch that I had there is no longer there. We didn't get rid of it. It is down in the basement in my vintage room because it is a vintage corner shelf, and I wanted more room in my dining room. So instead of having that corner shelf here on this wall, I put my kitchen clock, which I can actually see it now. Couldn't see it very well where it was in the kitchen. And then of course I put my picture of Bing on this wall. I needed something to go in there, and I love the blue colors that's in the picture. Matches the paint very, very well. Speaking of the paint, this is not a very good true color of it because it's so shadowy. So you'll see the more true color when we get in the kitchen. But the name of it is Minor Blue by Sherwin-Williams. And it's actually Behr paint. The painter uses Behr paint, but the color is from Sherwin-Williams. I picked up this little tiny plant stand off of Amazon. It's perfect for my little I think they're called air plant, little critters with the little air plants inside of them. I collect those. I mostly find those at Tractor Supply and Lowe's. And if I see one that's super cute, I pick it up. I've been collecting those for several years now. I don't buy them all the time. And then I've got my philodendron in this plant. You saw me repot that a month ago probably now. And then here is my blue glass shelf. It's pretty much in the same spot. It's moved to the left just a little bit. And I put my aloe vera plant clear at the bottom. That's where the dog food and stuff is. So the top 3 shelves are for my decor, and I still have my, I don't know what this is, vining plant here, and then this is Olivia's little succulent. I was able to distribute the glass more evenly. It's not so cluttered up. And I also got rid of several pieces of my blue glass. Just the pieces that were purchased from Dollar Tree. I mean, they aren't worth anything. They're not vintage or old or anything like that. I didn't have any kind of an affection for them, so I donated them. This is actually a candle warmer that I got for my birthday, and I just now have been able to use it. And then the other interesting thing on this shelf is this piece of wood, and you're thinking, what is this piece of wood doing there? This is a part of the tree that fell through our roof. Let me get over here in the better lighting. That fell through our roof on March 30th. And when we were doing the initial cleanup that night, just so that we could actually like walk through our living room again, I found this laying on top of my love seat. And so I decided I'm going to keep it. Not that I'll ever forget that night, but just as kind of a memento. I am going to clean it up a little bit. I haven't had a chance to do that. And I'm going to write the date on the bottom of it. So I'll never forget. And so for generations down the road, when they see that piece of wood with a date written on the back, they'll be very curious as to what that is. Over here on this wall, I did this a little different. They give us this Day Our Daily Bread sign went back there. I love that. It's perfect for a dining room. But this ladder, I think it's called a ladder shelf. I had gotten this thrifting a long time ago, and I had it down in my vintage room. And when I reconfigured all my decor up here, I didn't have any place to put my vintage kitchen utensils. And so I decided that this would be perfect up here to put my kitchen utensils on. And then the shelf that was here is down in my vintage room. Now my vintage room is an absolute disaster. I have not done a single solitary thing down there yet, so that will not be part of this video. But anyway, so there's that wall. On my Hoosier cabinet, I minimalized this a lot, took away a lot of the clutter, and just put pieces that I love here. So there's that. And then up at the top, I've got my Mr. Pepper and Mr. Salty collection, as well as some other vintage items. And I just love how that turned out as well. My sewing box wall is pretty much the same. I did rearrange things a bit, but I don't even remember how they were before, so I don't expect that you will remember how they were before. And then on this wall, up on that shelf, is exclusively, other than one item, exclusively Pioneer Woman and milk glass. And then there's that farm picture that you saw me put together when we were still in the camper. Love how that turned out. If you haven't figured it out, my theme for my house and my kitchen and basically my whole house is vintage farmhouse with the Pioneer Woman. And I think the Pioneer Woman kind of goes with vintage farmhouse anyway. So vintage farmhouse is basically my theme and my style, I should say. So in the kitchen, the long-awaited open shelving wall. I had to turn that light off because it was too glary. And I am in love with how this turned out. I love my range hood. I do need to get some stainless steel cleaner. I cleaned it as best I could, but I don't have any of the stainless steel cleaner, so you can still, if you look closely, you can still see fingerprints, so don't look closely. So anyway, because of the open shelving concept, I've been able to get a lot of stuff off my countertops and have them up there. Every single thing on these shelves is functional, except for the very, very tippy top shelf. I mean, those are functional. I could use them if I wanted to, but I don't use them often, so that's why I stuck them up there. It's all Pioneer Woman stuff, except for that one hen on a nest. that a friend gave me. Now that I'm on this side of the light, let me see if it's so glary. On this top shelf is my Pioneer Woman stuff, as I said. And then on this side, that juice pitcher was my mother's. And then of course there's Pioneer Woman stuff as well. Down here on the second shelf is a pothos plant. That's a live plant. In this canister is cornstarch, and in this canister is cinnamon sugar. And then down here on this little bitty shelf, the contractor said I couldn't put very much weight on it because he wasn't able to hit a stud, is my basket with paper plates and a thing of toothpicks. You can't get any lighter than that, I don't think. And then over here on this side, this is the side I use the most. This is the spices I use the most. Right here, onion, dehydrated onion, garlic, salt, and then clear in the back is Italian seasoning. And then I've got my oils here. It's basically oil and vinegar. That's olive oil, my chili oil, and then clear in the back is balsamic vinegar. I don't use the balsamic vinegar that much, that's why it's clear in the back. Then I've got my vintage canning jars here with my Ultima, which is like a Gatorade drink that is sweetened with stevia, and then some stevia packets. And then here's some juice glasses and regular drinking glasses. These were my grandmother's. These I've got thrifting. Here are the plates that Travis got me for Mother's Day. Can't really see the pattern, but they are here and they are usable. We do use, we're going to use those. We haven't used them yet, but we are going to use those. And then there's that cute chick mug that I got thrifting. And then on this last shelf is another pothos plant. That jar is going to have flour in it. I just have not gone downstairs and gotten my flour yet. We put it down there when we were emptying out the kitchen. And that canister is sugar. That canister has popcorn. And that canister has bay leaves. And then these are bread plates or salad plates that match my dinner plates. And we don't use those very often, mainly for holidays, so I don't expect we'll be using those very, very much. And then another hen on a nest. It looks like jadeite, but it's a reproduction. It's not true jadeite. Then down here on my counter, I bought this paper towel holder. It's a cast iron red. I used to have my paper towels hanging in a basket that was hanging up under the bottom of my cabinets, and we just did not want to do that again. We didn't want to put unnecessary holes in these shelves. Oh, the shelves we got from Menards, and the shelf brackets we got off of Amazon. In this utensil container, I got rid of all of my plastic and I've gone straight with wood. This is acacia wood utensils. They are dishwasher safe, machine washable, I almost said. Dishwasher safe, and I love them. I've used them several times and I really love them. The only other thing that's stuck in this jar besides my wooden utensils is my what's this thing called? I think it might be called a spider strainer. I don't remember. Spaghetti. I use it to strain pasta. And then my Dutch whisk. And then I've got my knife sets back there. On the windowsill, it's pretty much the same as it was before with my hens on the nest, but it's greatly reduced. Like I put my big ones up on my open shelving, and I don't have as much clutter on there, and I really like it. Like the more simplistic look of it. And then up here on this shelf, which was above my window before, I took everything that was on there off and just put more of my Pioneer Woman stuff up there. This light fixture is new. There, you can see it a little bit better. It's got an Edison bulb in it, and it's got this little speckles, and it's got the rubbed bronze. We decided to go with all new light fixtures except for this ceiling fan. We kept it because I still love it and it was still in good shape. The other lights in the house pretty much got destroyed from the tree and everything, the construction. They were filthy. I mean, they still worked, but they were horrible. They looked horrible. They were all dented up and dinged up, and yeah. And then I bought this fan. I wanted to get something that looked very retro vintage because Scott said the only way we could do away with the ceiling fan in the dining room is if we had a fan that we could blow on us when we got hot. But our air conditioner actually is doing a really good job of keeping us cool, and we haven't had to have it. We didn't need it. Behind the stove, everything is the same except we have these tiles. They're actually not metal. They look metal. There's some other kind of material, and Scott put those up there for me using some kind of glue. I can't remember what kind of glue he used, but he put them up there with some glue. This cool thing here is Pioneer Woman. As you can see, it's for utensils. And so I was able to downsize and reorganize my utensil drawer. This is so much easier to find what we need and for Travis to put them away. It's super easy. So in this very top drawer where the utensils used to be, I have all my little measuring spoons and my knives. And then in the second drawer, this is the plastic that I couldn't get rid of, like my rubber scrapers. I mean, you can't really cook without rubber scrapers. And then some tongs and some spatulas that Scott really likes, but I didn't want to have out on display. So they're in this drawer. The island is the same, but different. I like the toaster and the bread box are in the same place, and this little shelving unit is in the same place, but I've downsized a lot, gotten rid of a lot of things, and have made it more functional and less cluttered looking, and I'm loving that. And then above my cabinets, I told you many times that I only wanted to put crocks up here, crockery, and so that's what I've done. You can see on both sides there's different crocks. Well, you can see some of the crocks from both sides. You can't see these little ones from both sides, but the big ones you can see in the living room. It looks really nice, and these are all crocks that I have thrifted. I thrifted that box there, the Pepsi box. I even thrifted that plant, that artificial plant. I think the only thing up here that I have not thrifted is that chicken, or that rooster, and I got that from Joann Fabrics. And so it is all crocks up here with things to make it look nice. Like, you know, I like to use all different kinds of materials in my vignettes. I love to use lace and wood and metal and greenery. So I think that turned out beautiful. I love that. The living room is pretty much the same with my doggies. Here's the crockery from this side. Everything on this wall is the same as it was before. This is the same but different. That painting was in the dining room. I didn't want to get rid of it because I loved it. No, I still love it. And so I put it here, and I just love it. It fits the space perfectly. And then so over here is my very reduced basket wall. That was up there. And I moved it here because the oil painting fits that wall perfectly. And this is actually a basket. So it goes with my basket wall. And these are the baskets that I don't use, but I love them. So I just put those up there. I put one little plate, that's a decorative plate for decoration only. And then the baskets that I actually use, I just have them stored in my furnace closet. The other really big difference and very beautiful addition is when they went to put the cap back here between, because we live in a double wide, and so they have a cap to cover the seam where the two halves of the house meet. Well, the cap that was up there, which was just plain white and it had the popcorn on it, got damaged. I mean, it got destroyed in the tree falling. And so our contractor said he would figure out something for that. It's called a roof cap or a ceiling cap. And so I said to him, I said, well, do you know what you're going to do? And he said, no, I have no idea. I said, could you possibly make it look like a farm beam, like a barn beam? And he did. And oh my goodness, I love it so, so much. This is made of cedar, and we did not have it stained. They just put a clear coat on it to bring out the wood grain, and I am in love with it. It is so beautiful. Oh, it is so beautiful. I never even thought in my wildest dreams that this could be a possibility, because I've always wanted one, and I just, I didn't think it was ever possible. So you know, if something that you want's not possible, you just move on and you don't dwell on it. And oh my goodness, it is lovely. I am in love with it. All right, friends, that is it for this video. This video was a long time in coming. The last 3.5 months have been a trying time. It definitely has been a trying time for us. There were moments when I just didn't think that I was gonna make it. I didn't think living in that camper one more day, I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think that they would make my vision come to life. There were moments when I would come in at the end of the day when the workers had left and look at the progress they had made and think to myself, they are never gonna make this look good. When I had them take the cabinets down in the kitchen, it was so horrible. That wall looked so horrible. And I thought, I have made a huge mistake. They're never gonna make that look good. And they were miracle workers. Honestly, I think our contractor was sent to us by God. I know that. He's a Christian man. He, very sweet man, very nice, very considerate and skilled. His workers are so skilled. And he took my feeble attempts to explain what I wanted and brought it to life. And I can't even believe how beautiful of a job they did. And I can't take any of the credit for any of this. God works things out for our good. And I don't know where it's found, but there's a scripture in the Bible that says something about he makes beauty out of ashes. And that is exactly how I feel that this devastating thing that happened to us was turned into something. I mean, literally, it wasn't ashes, it was dust and insulation, but God took dust and insulation and tree branches and wood and turned it into something beautiful through sending us the right person who just did exactly what we wanted. The Bible speaks over and over again about how God cares for his children. He loves us. It talks about how we should never be worried because if he provides for the birds of the field, how much more does he love us and will provide for us? And there's a scripture. It's in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, and I have it here. I'm going to read it. Now to him who is able to do far more abundantly than all that we can ask or think, according to the power at work within us, to him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever. Amen. And that's exactly what happened. God took this situation that was very devastating to me, and he provided more than I even knew I wanted. When this all first happened and they said they were going to have to take those cabinets down, which by the way they didn't end up having to take them down, I was just thinking, okay, well, they'll just put them back when they're done. And then I was watching a video, I don't even remember, I just kind of stumbled across it when we were in the camper, and it was talking about open shelving. And so I started doing research on that, and I decided, oh, I think I would like that. And that little bit of an idea turned into my dream kitchen. My kitchen is tiny, but it is so much more useful now. The space is being used more wisely. I think I've actually almost doubled my storage space in the kitchen. I was able to just declutter and get rid of a bunch of stuff. That's a video that's coming up. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I will have my huge declutter video for you. But God took ashes and made it beautiful. He provided more than I even knew I wanted, including that wooden beam that I didn't think was ever possible. And I just have to give God the praise and the glory. Don't mean to be preachy, but I think most of you that watch my videos are Christians and you understand what I'm talking about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being patient while I had to take some time off. And I'm going to be back to my regular schedule starting today when you're watching this video. And there's going to be a lot of exciting things coming, a lot more cleaning and organizing and decluttering that it still needs to happen. I haven't, like I said earlier in the video, I haven't even touched the basement yet or my vintage room. It's still an absolute disaster down there. But those are going to be videos to come. There will be a video where I show you Olivia's room when she's done with it. And I will also give you a full tour of the bathroom when she's done decorating that as well. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. And we'll see you again on Friday with a brand new video. Bye-bye, friends.